Silakan, Pak. Sudah saya live.
Ansan University was founded in 1999 as a public higher education institution recognized for meeting national quality standards. Its mission is to be a renowned center for high-quality human resource development, scientific research, and technology transfer, effectively contributing to economic growth and social advancement.
Một môi trường học tập năng động và thân thiện với sinh viên.
Cộng đồng sinh viên đa văn hóa và gắn kết. Nơi những tài năng được trân trọng và tỏa sáng.
Voilà maintenant plus de 10 ans que je viens à la vue très régulièrement et je suis toujours aussi impressionné par sa volonté d'être performant, aussi bien en enseignement qu'en recherche.
In 2019, the university officially joined Vietnam National University, Ho Chi Minh City. Over 2 decades, the university has made substantial progress in its development, contributing to VNUHCM's missions in the Mekong Delta region.
Trường Đại học An Giang phấn đấu là một cái cơ sở giáo dục đào tạo có uy tín trong cả nước với việc đào tạo đa ngành, đa nghề và đa cấp học, và trường cũng luôn phấn đấu nghiên cứu khoa học với những cái tri thức được ứng dụng, chuyển giao khoa học công nghệ, đóng góp vào sự phát triển của đồng bằng sông Cửu Long nói riêng và của cả nước nói chung. Từ tháng 8 năm 2019 thì trường Đại học An Giang gia nhập vào hệ thống Đại học Quốc gia Thành phố Hồ Chí Minh, và từ đây trường thực hiện một cái sứ mệnh mới, đó là đại sứ của Đại học Quốc gia Thành phố Hồ Chí Minh ở đồng bằng sông Cửu Long. Theo đó thì trường xác định cái triết lý giáo dục của mình là kiến tạo, khai phóng nhằm đáp ứng cái mục tiêu giáo dục toàn diện cho người học.
AGU currently offers 48 undergraduate and postgraduate degree programs in different fields. Notably, 8 of these programs have earned international accreditation. The programs are continually updated to ensure practicality, high applicability, and alignment with societal needs. The university consists of 8 faculties and 2 departments responsible for delivering the training. Faculty of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Faculty of Economics, Business and Administration, Faculty of Education, Faculty of Tourism, Culture and Arts, Faculty of Law and Political Science, Faculty of Engineering, Technology, Environment, Faculty of Information Technology, Faculty of Foreign Languages, Department of Physical Education, Department of Defense Education.
Trong suốt cái tiến trình hình thành, xây dựng và phát triển thì năm 2021-2030, đặc biệt là trong giai đoạn 5 năm qua thì trường đã đạt được nhiều cái kết quả ấn tượng ở nhiều cái phương diện hoạt động. Khi trở thành trường đại học thành viên của Đại học Quốc gia Thành phố Hồ Chí Minh, trường đã đạt chuẩn cái chất lượng cấp cơ sở giáo dục đại học chu kỳ 2 giai đoạn 2023-2028. Và hiện nay thì trường đang tập trung phát triển, chuẩn hóa, cải tiến các điều kiện đảm bảo chất lượng nhằm nâng cao hơn nữa cái chất lượng đào tạo, nghiên cứu khoa học, phục vụ cộng đồng gắn với cái chiến lược phát triển của Đại học Quốc gia Thành phố Hồ Chí Minh giai đoạn 2021-2030 và tầm nhìn đến năm 2045.
AGU currently has 10,000 enrolled students and welcomes over 3,000 new students each year. Additionally, the affiliated pedagogical practice school trains over 2,000 students across 3 educational levels. To fulfill its mission, AGU has a highly qualified and dedicated workforce with over 750 personnel, of whom over 60% hold postgraduate degrees. This includes 8 associate professors and 102 doctoral degree holders who are actively engaged in teaching, research, and various activities that contribute to the university's growth and community service.
Em cảm thấy thầy cô rất là thân thiện và hỗ trợ nhiệt tình cho các bạn sinh viên. Bên cạnh đó thì thầy cô cũng có cái sự sáng tạo trong việc thiết kế các cái bài giảng dạy, giúp cho các bạn sinh viên có những cái bài học hiệu quả và mang tính thực tế cao hơn.
Furthermore, the university actively promotes student exchange programs. AGU has sent students abroad for exchange or internship programs at partner institutions and welcomes international students to study at AGU. In addition to education and training, AGU prioritizes and invests significantly in scientific research and technology transfer as a key component of its development strategy. Faculty members and students are encouraged and provided with optimal conditions to engage in scientific research. The university also pays attention to enhancing collaboration with domestic and international partners to facilitate effective technology transfer and practical application of research findings.
Nghiên cứu khoa học là một lĩnh vực rất là quan trọng với các cơ sở giáo dục đại học nói chung và đối với trường đại học An Giang nói riêng. Và chúng tôi luôn theo đuổi mục đích này, luôn đầu tư cho nghiên cứu khoa học và đặc biệt là làm thế nào để chuyển giao các cái đề tài nghiên cứu đó vào trong thực tiễn phục vụ phát triển cộng đồng.
Furthermore, in publishing endeavors, the university publishes the International Journal of Sciences with ISSN number, which has 10 issues annually, including 4 issues in English. The journal publishes research results across various fields of theoretical and applied sciences. To carry out its mission, the university has continuously invested comprehensively in modern infrastructure and green spaces. The university campus covers over 48 hectares with 3 campuses.
Thư viện cung cấp hơn 34.000 đầu sách, cùng với tài liệu đa phương tiện, tài liệu nội sinh và nguồn tài liệu số rất là phong phú, được cập nhật thường xuyên. Chúng tôi mong muốn thư viện sẽ là một cái không gian học tập thân thiện, đồng thời sẽ là nơi diễn ra các hoạt động sáng tạo, giao lưu văn hóa, học thuật giữa sinh viên và giảng viên trong suốt năm học.
In 2023, Endang University was ranked 432nd by the UI Green metric among green universities worldwide, based on criteria related to sustainable university construction, management and development, as well as environmental friendliness and conservation efforts. In the era of globalization, enhancing international cooperation has always been a key priority in AGU's development strategy. This aims to improve educational quality, elevate university stature, and provide opportunities for personal growth for lecturers and students. Recently, AGU has established strong partnerships with institutions, organizations in over 29 countries and territories, with more than 110 memorandums of understanding signed.
Các hoạt động hợp tác và nghiên cứu với nhà trường rất đa dạng, phong phú về lĩnh vực và các hoạt động, từ các hoạt động về chuyển giao khoa học công nghệ, xuất bản chung, nghiên cứu chung, thực hiện các đề tài dự án và chương trình trao đổi sinh viên và giảng viên, từ đó rút ngắn cái khoảng cách địa lý giữa nhà trường và các nước trên thế giới.
안장대 농과대학을 서울대 농과대학 시스템으로 바꾸는 코이카 사회드 프로젝트를 책임지고 있는 이상입니다. 본 프로젝트를 통해서 안장대학교 농과대학이 베트남의 최고의 농과대학이 될 것이라고 확신합니다.
Furthermore, AGU prioritizes fostering collaborations with businesses to strengthen the connection between education, research, and the labor market. The university consistently monitors industry trends and actively seeks internship and employment opportunities for students through internship programs and annual job fairs.
Tỷ lệ việc làm của sinh viên tốt nghiệp luôn ở mức cao và có nhiều ngành đạt tỷ lệ 100% qua các năm. Qua khảo sát, sinh viên tốt nghiệp được các tổ chức và doanh nghiệp đánh giá cao về năng lực chuyên môn cũng như là tinh thần trách nhiệm trong công việc.
Advocate for student rights and foster unity and positive interaction among students within the AGU community.
Khi tham gia học tập tại trường Đại học An Giang, Đại học Quốc gia Thành phố Hồ Chí Minh, ngoài việc các bạn sẽ được quý thầy cô truyền đạt những kiến thức trên giảng đường, thì Đoàn Thanh niên và Hội sinh viên cũng tạo ra nhiều hoạt động ngoại khóa giúp các bạn rèn luyện thêm được các kỹ năng giao lưu học hỏi. Bên cạnh đó, 16 câu lạc bộ đội nhóm cũng sẽ giúp các bạn có thể thỏa được đam mê của mình và việc học tập trên giảng đường.
Student and youth movements have achieved remarkable success in major competitions or awards at the region level as well as national levels. Through the unwavering dedication of this leadership, faculty and students, Giang University, a member of the VNUHCM, is committed to maintaining its achievements, continuing to develop and solidifying its reputation as a leading higher education institution in the region, to offer students an environment to nurture their dreams and personal growth, to be a reliable partner for domestic and international institutions, and to contribute to the socio-economic development of the nation and the region.
Education and science for humanity lay the foundation for a more inclusive and equitable world. Empowerment to lead and serve with excellence on a global scale. Universitas Kristen Duta Wacana, where history meets innovation, diversity drives excellence, and faith nurtures integrity. Located in the heart of Yogyakarta, we are proud to be a center of learning and research, accessible and connected to the pulse of the city. With over 4,000 students from across Indonesia, we embrace our rich diversity.
Founded in 1962 as a school of theology, we have grown into a university in 1985. Our journey reflects the strength of our historical roots and vision for a brighter future. As a sustainable entrepreneurial research university, we focus on creating solutions, nurturing entrepreneurship, and advancing research that impacts society. Guided by faith, driven by integrity, and committed to excellence, Duta Wacana prepares graduates who are ready to serve the world.
With 7 departments and 17 study programs, including master's and doctorate degree, we are committed to academic excellence. Our students aren't just learning, they are growing as leaders, innovators, and change makers. With state-of-the-art facilities and a vibrant student life, we make sure every student is ready to take on the challenges of tomorrow. We prepare students for the global stage, offering facilities and opportunities through various international programs. Our commitment to inclusive education ensures that everyone, including those who are impaired, has a place to grow and succeed. Duta Wacana. We honor our past, embrace the present, and look forward to a future where knowledge, integrity, and service shape the world. Join us on this journey of excellence.
Jadi konten kreator bukan cuma hiburan, tapi juga bisa mengubah dunia.
Bukan sekedar bikin konten,
tapi menciptakan cerita dan menggerakkan perubahan. Media digital bukan sekedar tren, tapi masa depan. Perusahaan dan NGO butuh kreator digital. Dari kampanye brand sampai storytelling kemanusiaan, keahlian digitalmu bisa memberi dampak.
Ilustrasi di sini adalah bagaimana kalian itu ingin mengkomunikasikan ide kalian.
Ubah kreativitasmu jadi karir.
Bergabunglah bersama kami, Prodi Studi Humanitas UKDW Yogyakarta, dan buat perubahan.
Program Studi Humanitas di Retas Humanitas.
Welcome to our English Language Education Department, a place where future educators, language experts, and digital savvy professionals are born.
Welcome to IELTS preparation class.
We don't just teach English, we shape future professionals with digital and intercultural competencies.
Okay, so welcome to COLT class, yeah? We are still discussing something about our graduates are educators, language experts, and even a techpreneur. The world is your playground.
Join the vibrant community where learning is innovative, friendships are global, and the experience is unforgettable.
It's good that you found the organizational markers and then you combine the keywords and paraphrase it really well. I like your job.
You can use these words to increase your vocabulary. For example, if you want to say very small, you can use tiny.
Your future starts here.
Be a part of our English language education family today. Join us!
Good morning, Rector of Universitas Kristen Duta Wacana, esteemed speakers, faculty members, students from both Universitas Kristen Duta Wacana, Endang University, and all participants from Indonesia, Vietnam, and I believe also India and Pakistan. Welcome to the online public lecture carrying the theme Bridging Cultures, Enhancing Intercultural Understanding in a Globalized World. This event is hosted by the Faculty of Education and Humanities of Universitas Kristen Duta Wacana, Indonesia, in collaboration with the Faculty of Foreign Languages, Endang University, Vietnam. My name is Adaninggar Septi Subekti. You can simply call me Ada, and I will be your MC and moderator for today's event. Allow me to read through today's agenda of public lecture. First, we'll have the opening speech by Dr. Lestariningsih STMT, Director of Universitas Kristen Duta Wacana, who will also officially open today's event. And then we'll have the presentation from Dr. Fransisca Endang Lestariningsih, M.Hum, from Duta Wacana, and it will be followed with question and answer session after that. And then next we'll have the presentation from the second and the third speakers from Endang University, Vietnam. We'll have Miss Minh Trang, MA, and Mr. Lê Khanh Linh, MA. And then it will be followed with a question and answer session as well. And lastly, we'll have the photo session, and then we'll close today's event after that. All right, so without further ado, I would like to invite Dr. Lestariningsih STMT, Director of Universitas Kristen Duta Wacana, to deliver the opening speech and also to officially open today's public lecture. Time is yours, Dr. Lestariningsih. Ibu Ada. Good morning, everybody, and greetings to everyone joining us from Universitas Kristen Duta Wacana and Giang University. Thanks God for the meeting today after signing the MOU last year that we can realize our collaborations between UKDW and Giang University. On behalf of Universitas Kristen Duta Wacana, I am honored and delighted to welcome all participants, esteemed lecturers, dear students, and distinguished guests from both UKDW and Giang University to this Studium General titled Bridging Cultures, Enhancing Intercultural Understanding in a Globalized World. At UKDW, we proudly embrace the spirit of inclusion and diversity. As a multicultural and inclusive campus, we are home to students and faculty from various ethnic, religious, and cultural backgrounds. This diversity is not just something we accommodate, it is something we celebrate and learn from. It shapes the way we teach, learn, and grow together as a community. The Studium General creates meaningful opportunities to learn from one another, to explore both the uniqueness and the shared values between our cultures. It is not just about exchanging ideas, it is about building bridges between countries, between communities, and between hearts and minds. We deeply appreciate our partnership with Giang University, and we look forward to more collaboration that further foster mutual understanding, respect, and shared learning. Let us take this opportunity to engage with open hearts and minds, to share perspectives, and to cultivate friendship that go beyond borders. And now, with gratitude and enthusiasm, I officially declare the Studium General Bridging Cultures, Enhancing Intercultural Understanding in a Globalized World is open. Let this moment of inspiration, insight, and intercultural friendship enjoy the discussion today. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lestariningsih. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have our first sharing and presentation from Dr. Fransisca Endang Lestariningsih, M.Hum, from Duta Wacana. But before that, allow me to read her short bio. So, Fransisca Endang Lestariningsih was born in Yogyakarta. Her doctoral degree in language education was earned in 2019 from the Language Education Sciences program of the State University of Yogyakarta. While pursuing her doctoral degree, she completed a sandwich-like program at the University of Auckland in 2017. And she also completed an online course on learning styles and strategies from the University of Oregon in 2010. She was actively involved in a United Board Fellows Leadership Program held by UBCHA during 2021-2022. And then currently, she teaches English for specific purposes, speaking for academic purposes, intercultural communication at the English Language Education Department, and English for Informatics course at the Information Technology Department at Duta Wacana. Her interests are in English for specific purposes, teacher training, and andragogy. Now let's have Dr. Lestariningsih deliver her talk. Dr. Lestariningsih, time is yours.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ibu Adaninggar, for giving me the opportunity. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, students. Good morning, my colleague, and also all the participants, especially from Vietnam, Giang University. I think we don't have different in time. Yeah, so now it's, what time is it? It's about 9 o'clock. So in Vietnam, I think it's also 9 o'clock. Okay. Wait, let me make it. Yes. Right. I will not be alone here because I will be accompanied by my students, two of my students. They are Rain and also Rebecca, and they will also share their experiences during practicing intercultural communication competence. All right, my presentation today is, the title is about navigating intercultural communication, and the content is mostly the insights from the experiences of Papuan students. I will explain a bit more about Papua and also the islands of Indonesia. Indonesia has thousands of islands. Right, but before I go deeply to this topic, I'd like to a bit talk about what ICC is. So, yeah, just a brief thing about intercultural communication competence. This is the ability to understand as well as behave and communicate appropriately with people from different cultures. Hey, and what is culture? Culture is actually the distinguishing, this is from Greek, yeah, the members of one group of people from others. Okay, so this is a bit about what ICC is. This is one of my classes I did this semester. Right, and what are the elements of intercultural competence? Actually, we have 3 elements. Yeah, there are many other elements outside there, but I take only this. The first is knowledge, and followed by skills and attitude. So, yeah, this is from what we cannot see until what we can see from someone's attitude and also behavior. Parts of knowledge or cultural self-awareness, yeah, a grasp of global issues and trends, social-linguistic awareness, culture-specific knowledge. And after someone have knowledge, then they will have skills. And also the skills here cover listening skills, viewing the world through different perspectives, observing, practicing patience and perseverance. And we will listen to the experiences of my students who will practice the skills, attitude, and also knowledge. And the attitude here covers respect, openness, and curiosity. All right, now without further ado, let me discuss what our topic is. So this is our country, Indonesia. Indonesia has thousands of islands. And here, the capital city is Jakarta. It's in Java. This is Java Island. We have 5 big islands. Sumatra here, okay? And then Java and the capital city is here. And we are here, somewhere here, very small, Yogyakarta, in the middle of Java Island. Yeah, and up to us here is Borneo or Kalimantan Island. And then we also, next to Kalimantan, we have Sulawesi Island. Some, some smaller islands around here. And if you heard Bali is somewhere here next to Java. And where is Papua? See, Papua is somewhere far, far away from the capital city, Jakarta, and also our city in Jakarta. So Papua is here. Yeah, on the far east of Indonesia. Okay. All right, so here is Papua. So Papua is situated in the easternmost region of Indonesia. and it is one of the archipelago's most remote islands, geographically and infrastructurally distant from the nation's administrative and economic center in Jakarta. And if we refer back to this one, yeah. So by being very remote, then Indonesia, Papua, and also as part of Indonesia, especially Papuan students learning or studying outside Papua will always face all the intercultural challenge. Right. Now, let's go back to what we will discuss today. Three of us, me and two of my students, Rain and also Becca. So Rain and Becca, are you ready? Yeah. What we will discuss today is we will talk about the importance of intercultural communication in education. And we will also talk about the unique challenges faced by Papuan students, especially those studying outside Papua, like in Yogyakarta, Jakarta, and other cities in Indonesia. And the purpose of my study here is to explore the life experiences and highlight strategies and the resilience of my students. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that I have to read all of this. So this is what will be discussed along the experience or the short mini research actually, how they will explore the importance of intercultural communication and intercultural competence, challenges for Papuan students, and resilience and agency. And these are all that we can use later to support or to connect between what they experience and the reference. Yeah. And the methods, the participants, 3 Papuan undergraduate students, the names or pseudonyms, yeah, they are not the real names. Todi, Nona, and Dea. And the tools I use is structured written responses. So they answer some questions, and from the answers, then we draw the conclusion using thematic analysis. And here are the findings. I will not talk about the findings myself, but the students will share their real experience and also the findings of the experience learning outside Papua, far, far away from their home. Oh, yeah. Rain, time is yours.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Endang. Can you hear me?
Wait.
Yes, can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Okay, wait, let me just adjust my mic for a moment. Is this perfect? Feedback, yes. What about now? Hello? Wait, hold on.
It's clear just now. You can try talking.
Hello, test. Test.
Yeah, it's clear. You can start.
No. Test. Test. Okay. Is my voice audible? What's going on? This one. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear your voice, Rain.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to talk to you or discuss about our findings, the studies from the experience of the three Papuan students that Mem Endang has mentioned before. So first, we will be talking about the challenges that the Papuan student face when they are studying in Yogyakarta or their first experience in Yogyakarta. Now, the first one is the stereotype and the misconception. Stereotypes and the misconceptions of Papuan people, according to Yogyakartan people, is they are stinky, loud, and rich. So I will break down each of these. So the first one, stinky. Personally, from where I come from, all the way to the mountain of Jayawijaya, the weather is pretty cold. So there's people really avoid taking showers because the infrastructure itself is not really developed, and the one that we have left is cold water. And then this cold water is not just cold, but freezing cold. People usually avoid bath or even shower. Now the next one is loud. From my own experience, open people are, well, particularly loud, not because they want to enforce an idea or maybe force their own opinion to other people, but because it's rowdy. They are a bunch of rowdy people, and they make often social gatherings or they have social, just interaction in general, more life. And then the rich part. Now, in Papua, especially my region, daerah Jayawijaya, the region of Jayawijaya, we don't have access to regular roads. So most of our goods or most of our logistics that we bought is flown all the way from Java or all the way from outside of Papua using planes. So most of the goods that came from Java by plane is really expensive. It accounts to the amount of labor used, the amount of plane fuel, and of course the transportation itself. Now, because the price of the goods are so expensive, of course the earnings or the pay for Papuan people are pretty high. So that's where the stereotypes of Papuan people are rich came from. Now the next one, the label of uneducated and doubts about education quality in Papua will be explained to you by my peer Becca. To Becca, I give you my time.
Okay, thank you, Ray. So, some people think that we in Papua do not have a university because many of us Papuan children migrate outside Papua to get good educations. It attracts many questions for other people outside Papua. I once got a question from some people who said, why college outside Papua or in Java? Is there no campus in Papua? In fact, we in Papua also have many universities that are not widely known by people outside Papua. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so continuing to the communication differences. So not only do we have stereotypes and misconceptions, but we also have communication differences. So in Papua, there are plenty of misunderstood verbal expressions and body language. So in Papua, the speech that we used and then the manner of language is very different from Yogyakarta. So in Papua, we use loud and fast speech speed. We talk really fast, especially in my region. I don't know what's the reason for it, but I think it's because we want to convey many information in a short amount of time. Now, there are experiences where one of my peers from the ICC class is talking to her friends, with not her Papuan friends, her friends from outside of Papua, and then she used, she talk loudly, and then her friends from outside of Papua will think that she is mad, but that's just how we talk. We want to make this situation or the social gathering more lively by using loud expressions or maybe over exaggerated body language. And then the next one, we have cultural interpretation of tone, eye contact, and facial expression. Now, as I said before, our social interaction in Papua uh, is often exaggerated from our facial expressions, from our eye contact, and from our tone, because uh, having a social interaction in Papua is fun. Now, different from Yogyakarta, sometimes eye contact in Papua, we often avoid eye contact in order to not offend people. But sometimes, but from my own experience in Yogyakarta, when I was having a conversation, I tend to avoid eye contact because in Papua, it's rude to stare at people's eyes when they are talking. They will think that we are challenging them to a duel or to a fight. So so I find it very interesting that in Yogyakarta, people will look each other in the eyes when they are speaking. Then the next one. And then the next one, we have the adaptive strategies. So if we have the challenges, and then we have the solutions to it, basically. Adaptive strategies. Now, the first one is adjusting tone. As I said before, we use a very high speed manner of speaking and then a high tone because, we just want to make the situation a little bit rowdy and a bit exaggerated, and then adjusting the speech speed, lowering our speech of speed so people can understand us better, and then of course eye contact. We fix eye contacts by staring at staring into people's eyes when we are talking to them. And then the next one is sharing cultural background to correct stereotypes. So if we go back, there are stereotypes that I mentioned before. Those stereotypes sometimes founded by, just people thinking that, oh, they're just doing this just because. But there are actually reasons to those stereotypes. So we as much share our cultural background to correct those stereotypes. And then the next one is the calm and polite engagement in awkward or insensitive situations in order to avoid more awkward situations because sometimes we are rare to properly read the room. So we sometimes handle situation a bit more proactive, and that is the adaptive strategies for the key findings. The next one. Yes, and then I will go back to Mem. Thank you very much for the time.
Okay, thank you, Rain, for the explanation. So, Bapak, Ibu, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, those are my students' real experiences when they came to Yogyakarta, and I think it was their first time also to study outside Papua. Well, actually, Papua has also many things there: the tribes, the languages, the cultures. Yeah, a lot. Yeah, there. So they also experience diversity themselves there in. Right. So from the key findings, we have two key findings. Yeah, the first is the challenges and also the adaptive strategies. If we refer back to the theory that from the knowledge they have, people will also have skills, and the skills and knowledge they will show it through their attitudes, and those are applied by my students, yeah, especially in the strategies, the adaptive strategies, right? So stereotypes, yeah, people actually not only Papuan, but also some other cultures. We do have things before we met. So like stereotypes, yeah. Stereotypes reinforce exclusion and misunderstanding, and it does happen anywhere. That's why ICC, or intercultural communication competence, is very important. And from that findings, we can conclude also that communication breakdowns stem from cultural misalignment. Students also demonstrate mindful intercultural communication by showing the adaptive strategies like adjusting tone, speed of the speed of the speech, and also the eye contact. They also share cultural background to correct stereotypes, just like what already mentioned and explained by Rain and Eka, right? And they also try to be more calm, and they practice polite engagement in awkward or insensitive situations. Through those kind of adaptive strategies, they could have the resilience and identity preservation through this strategic adaptation. Okay, and in conclusion, intercultural communication challenges reflect broader social structure. We will hear also the the presentation from our colleague from AGU, Giang University, and I'm sure that ICC also very important there. From the findings, Papuan students show resilience and agency. And also we need for systematic support to cultivate inclusive academic communities, because the setting is in an academic community, so systematic support to inclusive academic communities are needed. That's why I come up to some recommendation. Yeah, the recommendations, the first is the cultural diversity training for students and staff, just like what Bu Ning, our rector, already mentioned, that Duta Wacana, UKDW, Universitas Kristen Duta Wacana, now promotes being inclusive. So we welcome everyone, those with disabilities, for example, those with mental health, and or the inclusivity here. That's why the institution UKDW should start to have the cultural diversity training, or we do have that already, to be more and more promoting this cultural diversity, and also all the being inclusive, like disability. And we also come up with another recommendation, like mentorship programs for minority students. Like sometimes here in English, yeah, sometimes we don't, students, they don't understand if you use Bahasa Indonesia, for example. So we need to have like mentorship programs to make sure that they will perform. And we have safe spaces for, this is another recommendation, yeah, something like a fun thing to do, safe spaces for storytelling and cultural exchange. If in English language study program, we are familiar with English corner, for example. So why don't we have cultural corner to just, we can talk about anything there related to cultural exchange. And the last one is the communication workshops like this, yeah, public speaking, public lecture, oh my goodness, emphasizing identity preserving strategy. Okay, Bapak Ibu, ladies and gentlemen, my colleague, and also the participant. Those are what we can share today. And if you have questions or suggestions or something to, to know more, feel free to contact us. Yeah. And terima kasih. I don't know how to pronounce this in Vietnam language, but this is what I found about saying thank you in Vietnamese. Back to you, Ibu Adaninggar.
Thank you, Dr. Lestariningsih and team. All right, now I will invite questions from the participants. You can virtually raise your hand, perhaps. Anyone who would like to directly ask questions to Dr. Lestariningsih and team? All right, we have three, from Dewanti, and then Singgeh, and then from Alfiani, Bu Alfia. Let's start from Ibu. Oh, yeah, Dewanti, Ibu Dewanti.
Hello.
Oh,
Good
okay.
in
Yes,
Indonesia
please.
and maybe good afternoon in other parts of the country. I am Dewanti. I am originally from Yogyakarta, but now I'm pursuing my doctoral degree in Queensland. I'm from Institut Teknologi Dirgantara Adi Sucipto. Maybe Bu Endang still familiar with the campus. I met Adaninggar few times. I'm friends of Ibu Maria Deni. Yeah. So it's very interesting topic because my thesis topic right now is also ICC, Bu Endang, and also in ESP context. So I think those keywords are the expertise of Bu Endang. So I would like to ask some insight or opinion for Bu Endang. Some theories that I have read so far, correct me if I'm wrong, some theories of ICC mention that ICC refers to the communication across countries, but some research also mentioned that ICC is not only limited happen in the interaction across countries, meaning from the example that the students from Bu Endang just presented just now is that it can also happen between the interaction inside one country. For example, student from Papua when starting the study in Yogyakarta and so on. So based on the presentation just now, then I think it changed my perception that ICC is not only limited happening in the interaction between people in the different countries. Is that correct, Bu Endang? And then I will also ask the next question is that what is Bu Endang insight or opinion when ICC is explored in the Indonesian is as in ESP setting? For example, ICC for informatics department or ICC for mechanical engineering department. Why is it so crucial to foster ICC for ESP student in Indonesia? Thank you, Bu Endang. Thank you, Bu Adaninggar.
Thank you, Ibu Dewanti. Right, Ibu Fransisca, Endang?
Okay,
can
thank you so
directly.
much. Yeah, Ibu Dewanti, so your institution is just next to my home, yeah. So I know that, right? Okay, yeah, yeah. When we read or we refer to the definition of ICC, the ability to understand as well as behave and communicate appropriately with people from different cultures. Not only people from two different countries, but also when the cultures are totally different, like in Indonesia, like I discussed in the beginning of the presentation that the culture from the eastern of Indonesia and the western part of Indonesia, they are different. Even the what is that? The appearance also difference, yeah. So I think ICC can also be applied in inside or not only between two different countries, as long as the cultures are different. That's my answer for the first question. And for ESP, yeah, this is interesting. I think Bu Dewanti, seeing how ICC can be applied and can help students of ESP. I think, yeah, especially when the ESP class has various background cultures, for example, or we have like challenges in learning the ESP in the class. I think giving them or trying to make them aware that, hey, we have ICC, I think it will help them improve their understanding, improve their knowledge, improve their skills, and also improve their attitude, so that if they can, I mean, what the differences are not becoming their challenges or the barriers. So yeah, ESP is just easier to study. Yeah, that's my question. My answer, Ibu Dewanti.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
you. Yeah. Thank you, Ibu Dewanti. I invite next question from Bapak Singgih Widodo. Mr. Singgih, would you like to answer?
Thank
ask
you,
questions.
Bu Septi. Good morning, Bu Endang. So
Good morning, Pak Singgih.
very pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you, Pak Singgih.
I'm Singgih, like Pak Singgih from Duta Wacana.
Oh, you know Pak Singgih from academic.
Theology.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have to say Xin Chào. Xin Chào is the good hello from in Vietnamese. Bu Endang, your research is very interesting. Yeah, I also very interesting in cross-culture knowledge. Yeah. Now, I would like to refer to the experience of Professor Yohanes Surya, that he deal with many Papuan students, yeah, with the 6 months training, at least 6 month training for mathematics and other subjects, and then come to the conclusion that Yohanes mentioned that give me the most stupid student, or I can make it to be the champion, to be the winners. Yeah, and it is true. Yeah, and it is true that he would like to try to give kind of training, especially the critical thinking. That is the one thing that he would like to do. And the second one, Professor Anita Lee also deal with some Papuan students, and he would like to be also appreciated. So it's in conclusion that education can change people, and the stereotype like uneducated might not be true. Yeah. So that is I refer to the experience, yeah, direct experience for a long time, 6 months. So what do you think, Endang, with your research? I just try to correlate with this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Kamen. Kamen is
Kamen.
Vietnamese.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kamen Pak Singgih.
Kamen.
Pak Singgih. Pak Singgih Widodo Limantoro. It reminds me of one of someone that I also adore is Ibu Sinta Limantoro. I'm secret.
I'm from Ubaya. I'm from Universitas Surabaya.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, Pak Singgih, thank you so much. Yeah, Pak Singgih, I totally agree with you. Exactly. In pendidikan bahasa Inggris, we believe that exposure is very important, Pak Singgih. So what Prof. Yohanes Surya already did to train intensively for 6 months, this is also something to do with exposure, if I can say that. So they are exposed to the same subject again and again. They are trained, they are drilled, they have experienced themselves. And the finding you said in the chat box, that even the most unintelligent person, he or she, after being trained for 6 months, could be the winner of some competitions, Pak Singgih, so if I may conclude, this is something to do with exposure, Pak. Just like in Bahasa Inggris, in English language education, I do believe in we use it or we lose it. All right. If we never use it, then we will never be able to use it or to be the master of that certain language. So this is exposure. And education can change people here, Pak. The two students, they are from Papua, the two students explain or discuss or share their experiences. They are from Papua, and we can see that, not different, so even distinctive. Education can change people. This is only something to do with what is that? Opportunity, or Indonesia is very, very big with thousands of islands. So if we have the same opportunity to have the same things, I'm sure that everyone can also experience what's that? A kind of a bit similar, All right, and berpikir kritis, critical thinking, if Pak Singgih still remember the generation, the old generation of Indonesia, we will be very familiar with ini Ibu Budi, ini Bapak Budi, Budis. So then when people from Java, they go to other islands, oh ini yang namanya Budi. Okay, so I think now we already what is it? Change the way education should be delivered, should be directed, using the hot or higher order thinking skills. In education, we also have the Bloom's taxonomy, the 6 Bloom taxonomy, the HOTS, from the application to the creation, and from the lot. So knowledge is only the lower order thinking. That's my answer, Pak Singgih.
Thank you so much, Bu Endang.
Come on, come on.
Common.
Thank you, Pak Singgih.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Singgih Widodo, for the question. We still have time, so I'll invite Ms. Alfiani to directly ask questions to Dr. Lestariningsih.
Okay, thank you, Bu Ada, and good morning to Bu Fel, Bu Ada, and everybody in this room. I would like to ask to Becca or Rain, about their daily experience about being Papuan. Thank you for your sharing. I believe that it was only a small part of cultural Papuan culture. You mentioned that you about the staring at people's eyes, and in Jogja, as Javanese, I don't think we do that also, it's maybe it will be considered as impolite, and sometimes it might cause conflict if we stare to each other, And have you both, or Becca or Ren, you can one of you or both of you can answer this, experience a negative reaction from the person whom you talk to because you stare at the person's eyes? I just want to know,
Okay.
So thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Bu Alfiani. Please, Ren or Becca?
Okay, Bu Alfiani, thank you for the question. So, in my personal experience, I have experienced that specific situation. So, it was the first time that I moved into Yogyakarta. I was in my new boarding house and I was introducing myself to the people around the boarding house, get to know the environment better. And then there's one time where I was talking to someone older than me, to a senior, and then I was trying to avoid eye contact, and then uh, uh, he take my hand, and then he just looked at me in the eyes and said, "When someone is talking to you, uh, please look at them in the eyes." And it's a very wake it wake me up, that experience. It's very shocking to me. Yeah, I hope that answered your questions, or if you have any
Yeah,
other,
okay, thank you.
I
So
would
it's personal, right? Right? It's a personal experience.
yeah, it's a personal experience.
Okay, thank you. And maybe Becca, do you want to share also?
I think Vika doesn't have any experience related to staring eyes, Ibu Alfian. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Miss Alfiani, for the question. Yeah, thank you, Pika and Rin, for the responses. And we have one last question, Dr. Lestariningsih, written by Miss Quinn here in the chat box. We have two questions. Perhaps we'll just the second question. In what ways does cultural insensitivity, my apology, affect academic success and social integration of Papuan students?
Okay, perhaps we can hear the answer from Rain first, before I conclude. Come on, Rain. Do you have any answer for that question? Second question from Miss Queen, in what ways? You can read it on the
Okay, Ms. Quinn, thank you very much for the question. So, in what ways does cultural insensitivity affect the academic success and social integration of Papuan students? So, judging from my personal experience and my own observation, some may feel excluded from their from the campus or the education environment, and that affects not only to their mentality but also to their studies. They feel like they're not really accepted in the environment, and thus doesn't really put much effort in both the social integration and then the academics. Most of the or some of the Papuan students may be dropping out of college and then maybe pursuing something that makes them feel like they're accepted in that environment. I hope the answer satisfy the curiosity. Thank you very much.
Right. Yeah. Okay, now Dr. Lestariningsih would like to conclude.
All right. Thank you so much, Rain, and also Becca, for helping and for sharing your real experience. I think what you already shared here enriched, enriches the knowledge and understanding of other people, And a question from Queen. Thank you so much for addressing this question, Queen. Insensitivity. Not only Ibu ada, but I also mispronounce this. Insensitivity, just like what Rain already mentioned, that perhaps it affected, it affects the students themselves because they could feel they are being outsider. And in fact, in the ICC class also, we talk about otherness. So who are others actually? Who are ourselves? So selves and others are based on perspectives. So by having this ICC or intercultural communication competence, hopefully, like what Ibu Dewanti also mentioned, not only in ESP class, but in academic achievements, in many other aspects of life, just like what Professor Johannes Surya already experienced, and he did research. What Anita Lee also mentioned, that education can change people using this competence, ICC, intercultural communication. I do believe that, yeah, what is it? How can I forget the word? But everyone, the equality, yeah, everyone will be equal in every aspect of life, especially in education. Thank you so much, Ibu Adaninggar. Thank you also to in explaining what the meaning of Ibu and Bapak are in English. Yeah. So sorry, because in my culture and also my habits, I always address people with who and how. Time is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Lestariningsih. Let me summarize Dr. Lestariningsih's and team's talk today. So stereotypes cause exclusion, and therefore it should be avoided. And then educating others about their culture is needed, yeah, to counter stereotypes. And then we need to implement cultural diversity training and mentorship programs. We'll need to provide safe environment, safe spaces for cultural sharing and also storytelling, I believe. And also we'll need to offer communication opportunities that help maintain cultural identity. And then we need to believe that everybody can reach the stars, and therefore there is no need for any discrimination in any way. All right. So for the insightful sharing from Dr. Lestariningsih and team, Rain and Becca, please give a round of virtual applause. Yeah. All right. Our next speakers are from Ansang University, Vietnam. We have Miss Lee Min Chang, MA, and Mr. Lee Keng Ling, MA. Allow me to read the short bio of our speakers. Miss Lee Min Chang, MA, is an English lecturer at the Faculty of Foreign Languages, Ansang University, Vietnam National University, Ho Chi Minh City, in Ansang Province, Vietnam. She is now involved in teaching English as a foreign language for English major and non-English major students at the university. Her research interests include teaching methodology, professional identity, professional development, applied linguistics, intercultural communication, and blended teaching. And then for the third speaker, Mr. Lee Kang Ling, MA, is an English lecturer at the Faculty of Foreign Languages, Ansang University, Vietnam. He is now involved in teaching English language skills, linguistics, and intercultural studies. His academic interests include teacher beliefs, emotions, professional identity development, and intercultural communication. Finally, let's welcome Ms. Lee Min Chang, MA, and Mr. Lee Keng Ling, MA. Time is yours.
Hello everybody. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, first of all, I'd like to take the moment on, to sincerely thank Dr. Lestariningsih for, a very insightful and thought-provoking presentation on navigating intercultural communication. And actually, her perspective hasn't only, deepened our understanding, but also inspired us to reflect more critically and compassionately on how we engage across cultures. And thank you for sharing. All right. And again, I'm Linh, the lecturer from the Faculty of Foreign Languages at Giang University. And together with me today, we have Miss Trang, and she's my colleague too. And we are honored to be here with all of you today to speak on a topic that resonates deeply in our interconnected world: integration without assimilation, preparing youth for intercultural engagement in globalized world. And as we gather virtually from various cultural backgrounds here, and actually various geographical locations, we are participating in the very phenomenon. We are here to discuss intercultural engagement across borders. And in an age of rapid globalization, young people are, when we say, at the front line of cultural contact. And they are navigating complex realities and sometimes celebrated for their diversity, other times pressure to conquer. Okay, and the core question we explore today is, how can youth engage with other culture and how can youth engage with other cultures meaningfully and respectfully without losing their own identity? All right, and this will lead us to the center theme today, defining integration as assimilation, why youth matter, key challenges, essential competencies, practical approaches, the role of education and community. Then we conclude and finish session later. All right, so on screen, you can see that I review many scholars, research studies, and you know that over the years, they have addressed this distinction between assimilation and integration in various contexts. And while the terminology may vary, you can see that on this slide, I highlighted key ideas from major thinkers, from various early framework of acculturation to more recent work by, how we say, Moodle and the OECD. OECD here is the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. And these perspectives collectively emphasize that, assimilation asks for replacement and integration encourages enrichment. Actually, in our globalized world, integration without assimilation is the more ethical and sustainable approach, and one that values diversity as a resource. And that it's not really a threat. And understanding the difference between integration and assimilation sets the stage for a deeper question: what role do youth play in this process? That they're not just adapting, but they are shaping the future. That's why now we turn to why youth matter, the challenges they face, and the skills they need to bridge cultures effectively. Now let's welcome Miss Linh.
Hello everyone, good morning from Vietnam. So thank you, Dr. I just have some I'd like to give the big thanks for the sharing lecture, public lecture. This. Okay, so okay, so sorry. Thank you, everyone, and thank you the lecturers as well to give the big chance to share our lecture today. regarding to interaction without assimilation. And I would like to share my screen. Hope you see my screen. Now I'd like to share with you some information related to the next contents of our lecture today for preparing the youth in for the intercultural engagement in a globalized world. And as the first thing I would like to share, they talk about the importance of intercultural understanding. As the lecture before we first we should mention about the definition of intercultural communication. And now we just talk a little bit about intercultural understanding in the intercultural context. And as you know, in today's rapidly globalizing world, we are more connected than ever before. For example, for this this session today, from Vietnam and Indonesia, we can create the connection with the virtual platform. That is the shared global technology as well some challenges. But with this connection comes the need for a deeper understanding between the cultures. Intercultural understanding, they plays the important role in promoting harmony and reducing conflict among the cultural differences. When we take time to appreciate and respect cultural differences, we can create the spaces for peace, collaboration, and mutual respect. And as the students from any university around the world, as well for the young people especially, you should learn about diverse culture. It isn't just about being respectful, it's about being prepared. You should prepare to face global challenges, work with international teams, and communicate effectively across cultural boundaries. Intercultural understanding isn't just nice idea, but also necessary skill for thriving in the modern world as the transformation of technology. Now let's explore why youth matter in intercultural interaction. As the young generation, so every student, you are the youth, and you are not just passive participant in the society, right? There you are powerful agents of change. According to Smith 2021, young people are actively driving cultural exchange in the social progress, and especially in the diverse societies. And what makes youth so effective in their adaptabilities and creativities? You can tend to embrace new ideas, engage with different perspectives, and innovate in ways that bridge the cultural divides. And when you take part in the multicultural initiatives, whether through school, community programs, or any exchange forum for the international exchange forum for students or global networks, they have fostered real understanding and acceptance. This engagement transcends community cohesion and creates more inclusive society for you, the young generation and the young students. Empowering youth in intercultural efforts is one of the most effective ways to build a more connected, respectful, and resilient world. The second, the roles of the youth in the intercultural context, that's a promoting global citizenship. It's an idea that's closely tied to intercultural understanding. And when you embrace the principles of global citizenship, they have shaped a more interconnected and compassionate world. This means respecting human rights, valuing cultural diversity, and acting with responsibility on the global issues as the the goals of the UN. Youth as the young are not just learning about the world. You transit it. You transit through your participation in international programs and online communities. You break down barriers and open up meaningful dialogues across cultures. As UNESCO highlighted in 2020, young people play a key role in promoting understanding and cooperating across borders. You are not limited by traditional boundaries. Instead, you build a bridge to connect people in powerful, lasting ways. Promoting global citizenship among the young generation isn't just about education. It's about empowering the next generation to lead with empathy, awareness, and action. So why the youth play a vital role in intercultural interaction? They also face significant challenges, especially when it comes to identity. And many young people today proud of navigating multiple cultural contexts. This can create what we call identity conflict, where they feel caught between their cultural heritage and the values of the society where we are living. This duality can be confusing. It can even lead to feelings or lack of the feeling of lack of belongings, as they try to balance who they are with who they feel expected to be. As Khashifti passing noted in 2017, youth today are navigating increasingly complex cultural identities, and this isn't just personal issues. It affects their confidence, relationship, and even their ability to contribute fully their communities. And recognizing and addressing these challenges is very necessary. It allows us to support the young generation or the youth more effectively, helping them build a strong integrated identities in multicultural world. Another major challenge that the young face is the risk of cultural assimilations. In many cases, young people maybe feel stressed or pressured to fit into dominant culture, whether to gain acceptance, avoid discrimination, and succeed socially and professionally, but it often comes as a cost. When youth begin to distance themselves from their original cultural identities, there's more at stake than just personal strengths. This can lead to erosions of their heritage, including traditional language and unique cultural expression that are the part of their identity. And over time, this loss doesn't just affect individuals, its impact enter community. Cultural diversity begins to shrink, and with it, the richness of different perspectives and experiences. It's important that we create environments where youth feel they can belong without helping to choose between cultures, supporting cultural inclusion rather than assimilation, helps preserve identities and transcend the social fabric of diverse societies. And one of the most persistent challenges that the youth face in intercultural setting is dealing with stereotypes and prejudices. Okay? These biases often stem from misunderstanding or incomplete knowledge about a different culture. When young people are labeled or judged based on assumption, it limits their opportunity to connect meaningfully with others and can seriously impact their confidence and identity. But the young are also in a unique position to challenge these narratives. By engaging the cross-cultural dialogue, sharing personal story, and educating their peers, they can actually dismantle harmful stereotypes. And in doing so, they not only create more inclusive spaces for themselves, but also pave the way for the more respectful and empathetic society. And you can see in the screen for the picture the ways we can overcoming stereotypes through understanding the stereotypes and the prejudice. This is the first one. You should understand it. The second one, you understand the impact of entrepreneurship. You understand find out any information related to the new cultural factor that you want to charge or to feel the feeling of belongings. That challenges stereotypes through education and awareness, promoting inclusive hiring practice, or build your own cross-cultural competence. And for the cross-cultural competence, the ICC that we just we should mention and explore from the previous lecture. Yeah. Is a central starting point for effective intercultural engagement. That is the essential competencies for integration without assimilation. That can, after we explore the challenges, we also build some skills or knowledge to overcome this one. The first of all, for the necessary competencies for integration, that's a effective intercultural engagement is cultural self-awareness. This means being able to recognize and reflect on our own culture, cultural background, values, and even biases. As M.Hum in 2012, highlights this self-understanding forms the foundation for respectful and authentic interaction across culture. For the young people, developing cultural self-awareness can help them navigate differences without judgment. It encourages courageously instead of assumption and allows for a more genuine, open-minded communication. It's about being grounded in our own identity while remaining open to learning from others, and that's an invaluable skill in any diverse environment. Another key competencies is empathy, paired without openness. Empathy allows us to connect emotionally with others, even when they come from vastly different cultural backgrounds. It's about seeing the world through someone else's eyes, okay, and acknowledge their experience without judgment. Equally important is openness, this willingness to consider a perspective that may challenge someone's own. When the young people embrace these qualities, they have created inclusive spaces where cooperation and mutual respect can thrive. Together, empathy and openness empower the young to bridge divides, to build stronger, more understanding the community, especially in the intercultural phenomenon or intercultural setting. I using the screen that is the picture to give the the cover for benefits of empathies, and we can gain a lot of skills and how to share the empathy with the other. It is always the ways to help with understanding the differences among the cultural background. We can feel the other feelings, we can see the other feeling, and then we can share together about the feeling, so that we can embrace or feel the emotion of belongings in the differences. Intercultural communication skills are very significant for navigating diverse social environments. It's not just about speaking the same languages, the same language. It's about understanding how culture influences the way people express themselves and interpret messages. You should learn to communicate clearly, listen actively, and read both verbal and non-verbal cues, especially the non-verbal expression. The verbal language, maybe we can understand easily. We can understand more easily than the verbal expression. Okay. By the way, using verbal or non-verbal skill to connect effectively is very important. And by developing these skills, you can reduce misunderstanding, build trust, and engage in more meaningful dialogue across cultural lines. Ultimately, effective communication serves as a powerful bridge to connection and collaboration in the different society. And next one, I want to talk a little bit related to critical thinking for selective iteration. After we prepared the knowledge and skill in ICC, we also have the significant skill that critical thinking plays the key role in how the young engage with the multiple cultures. Rather than passively adopting every new norm, it allows them to thoughtfully evaluate which cultural elements align with their values and which do not. This kind of selective integration empowers them to appreciate the richness of other cultures while maintaining the strong sense of identity. It also helps resist cultural pressure and may otherwise lead to erosion of personal or community values. Here, to effectively foster intercultural competence in youth, we need intentionally strategies rooted in education and practice. First, intercultural education. I spent 20 sitting emphasize involves integrating diverse cultural perspectives into curriculum, helping students see the world through multiple lenses. Second, experiential learning. That is, you can learn through the real experience or with the field trip to help them to explore the world around instead of just in their classroom setting, such as study abroad programs or cultural exchanges, build the real world skill. This is strongly supported by Dear Frost in 2006 work. And the next one, mentorship programs can be transformative, especially when the young are connected with mentors with a different cultural backgrounds who model inclusive behavior. And finally, simulation and role playing that is highlighted by Vanity in 2019 offer safe environments for the young to practice navigating intercultural scenario, phenomenon or setting, building confidence and the awareness. And then for the next part, I would like to invite Mr. Linh will continue our lecture.
Yes, okay, so thank you, Ms. Trang. Okay, and now, so let's talk about something very practical now, everybody. So the question here is, what can young people actually do to grow interculturally without losing themselves? Right. And all right, so now first they need to engage. In my opinion, they have to be engaged in real intercultural dialogues. And you know that this doesn't have to mean going abroad. It can start right in their own schools. In my opinion, you know, that joining in multicultural club can be a solution, or participating in student forums, or even just having conversation with people from different backgrounds. And you know that these small interactions really matter. And you know that following Duta and Wilson and Beach now, so you can see that they highlight meaningful intercultural dialogue helps build empathy, reduce stereotypes, and strengthen one's ability to. Actually, they also reminded that the best learning often happens through experience, actually through doing hands-on activities, not just reading. All right, and the next one, youth can use, you know, digital tools to connect across cultures. And actually, let's face it, they already spending hours on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, is something like that, right? And the key is to turn these platforms to, you know, into spaces for global learning. For example, a Vietnamese teen might follow a content creator from China or chat with a peer in the Philippines, Indonesia through social media apps. That's intercultural learning in real time. But of course, we need digital literacy too. Now, do you know why do I have to say that? Because not everything online is educational. And we can see the risk of cultural appropriation. You know that as the scientists here, they found that being good digital citizens helps young people build real global awareness. And they also remind us it's not just about watching content, it's about, you know, understanding it critically. Without that, I suppose that that's the risk of misunderstanding or even cultural appropriation. And the next one, the youth need to develop emotional intelligence and resilience too. Honestly, intercultural interaction isn't always easy, and we have to, you know, that we cannot deny that misunderstandings happen always, and sometimes they may feel rejected or confused. by new customs, and in my opinion, it's normal, and we have to recognize that. And many researchers also shows that emotion regulation is key in multicultural communication. And in Vietnam, we have a study from Nguyen and his workers, and this study found that emotional intelligence actually fosters young people's adaptability and well-being when facing cultural challenges. So things like, mindfulness or even peer reflection can help them bounce back and stay grounded in their own value. And finally, let's encourage youth to create their own projects. And based on so many researchers that, they don't have to wait for someone to hand them in toolkits, and they can organize a cultural day at school, launch a podcast about identity, or run a bilingual Instagram blog, for example. All right. And the previous studies also states that agency and critical awareness can be fostered. And this transformative learning, when people shift how they see the world and themselves through active engagement. So small steps, but that we can lead to a big impact if we guide youth to act, reflect, and share their stories. All right. Okay, so actually, integration without assimilation starts with small, how do we say that? Intentional actions. Youth can grow interculturally by engaging in real dialogues, using digital tools wisely, developing emotional resilience or intelligence, and creating their own projects. The key is not just learning about others, but reflecting, connecting, and staying true to themselves. All right. Now let's shift from what youth can do to who should support them. And that's where education and community come in. Now start with schools and university. First, we need to rethink the curriculum. That it's no longer enough to teach only one word will. We need to bring in global issues, multiple perspectives, and inclusive stories. And that according to OECD too, and I have mentioned at the first, this can develop global competence in students and also prepares them not just for exam, but for real world. And these authors also indicate that, that it's not just include cultural knowledge, but actually sustain student own languages and tradition. It's not diversity as decoration, it's diversity as foundation. The next one is maybe related to culturally responsive teaching. And that teachers should be trained in culturally responsive teaching. When teachers validate a student's cultural background, sometimes amazing happens, and students show up more, participate more, and feel they are doing something and they are belonging. According to Geneva Giang here, you can see the author provides strong evidence that culturally responsive pedagogy leads to better academic and emotional outcomes. And as you have seen, lesson buildings in 2014 also concept culturally relevant teaching 2.0, updated, critical, and empowering. The next one may be, we must say that we shouldn't forget language learning as a bridge. And as Bram here reminds us that language is not just a tool, it's a carrier of culture, of identity, of emotion. And when students learn new languages and maintain maintain their mother tongue, yes, that's it. They're not just gaining skills, and they're gaining empathy too. And we have seen the two researchers has also shown that multilingualism builds cognitive flexibility and cross-cultural understanding. So, you know, yes, more languages mean more bridges. All right. The next one is related to critical reflection. And we cannot deny that in education must encourage critical reflection. We can, you know, we cannot just tell them what to think. We need to ask them how they've come to think that way. You know that as BRAM here advocates for reflective tasks that help students explore their own identity and cultural assumption. We also have this research stresses the importance of questioning power. You know, that it's not just celebrating surface diversity, right? And so I have to say that education is key to preparing youth for intercultural engagement, but it needs a shift. We must rethink the curriculum, train teachers to be culturally responsive, promote multilingualism, and encourage critical reflection. Now let's talk about the community and families. You know that we must accept that youth don't grow in isolation, right? They need role models, traditions, and safe spaces. And mentorship, in my opinion, is a great place to start. And you know that according to these researchers, multicultural youth value mentorship. You know, it's not only for emotional support, but also for building self-confidence and maintaining a sense of identity. The study reveals that cultural responses, yes, actually cultural responses, especially responsive mentoring relationships, help young people feel, you know, understood and empowered, especially when mentors share or respect their cultural background. The next one is about a community events. And you know that community events is also powerful too. When youth attend multicultural festivals or storytelling nights, for example, they see that diversity is not just accepted, right? But here explains such events normalize different. And truth here is also, you know, at that they reduce anxiety and build trust between groups. And we also, you know, that shouldn't forget global citizenship. This means, you know, that acting locally with global awareness. I mean, like volunteering at refugee center or starting a climate action group that can include, you know, indigenous perspective. For example, like here we have Mansilla and Traction in 2011 described this as educating for global competence. And you know, that is one of the most future-ready skills we can offer our youth. Well, and you know that when schools and communities work together, we create you know, who we say, ecosystem where young people can be fully themselves and fully engaged in the world. They won't have to choose between fitting in and standing out. And you know that they will know how to belong, connect, and lead without losing who they are. All right. So that's it for our sharing today, everybody. And thank you for your attention. We wish to send all of you the materials that we have just reviewed for the presentation today here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Trang and Mr. Linh, for very comprehensive presentation and sharing today. Now I'll invite questions. You can directly raise your hand and ask questions directly to our speakers today. Please, anybody? Yes, we have first question from Mr. Singgih Widodo. Mr. Singgih, time is yours.
Thank you very much for that. I have to say Xin Chào, yeah, to Mr. Lee and Mr. T, yeah. Maybe am I not right to pronounce the Vietnamese. Yeah. So I have the practical question: how to implement your very good idea? Yeah, very interesting idea that we can have the integrating without assimilation. Yeah. So assimilation can be, in my opinion, it can be mixed marriage. Yeah, it can be mixed marriage. Is it right? Now, I relate with my own experience. Yeah, when I would like to say I cannot speak Vietnamese, but I try to speak Vietnamese to the Vietnamese seller when I would like to enjoy pho, for instance, yeah, in the pho noodle soup in Vietnam, yeah, it's very famous. So if I would like to meet the Vietnamese seller, I would like to say xin chào, yeah. I can say China bao nhiêu, yeah, bao nhiêu. I just choose one of the soup and I want to buy this, yeah. And tôi muốn ăn phở, for instance, yeah. And then I pay with say cảm ơn, and I say goodbye tạm biệt, yeah. And then surprisingly, I got excellent service. Yeah, the excellent service, which is different from the other people. But I got smile from the seller. I got also, yeah, a good service, and that is different. There's interconnecting between my expectation as a buyer and they as a seller. We communicate in different cross culture, and we can integrate our kind of emotion. Yeah. As a buyer, I want to be satisfied with the service. I want to satisfy with the meals, the best meal that I can get. Now, why does it happen like that? Can you maybe give the explanation what I did in my experience? Yeah, like this. Thank you. Cảm ơn.
Yes, you can directly answer
All right,
Mr.
Miss
Widodo's
Trang, can you say
question.
something related to it?
Yeah, okay. I really appreciate your Dr. singing Win to do. Yeah. I really appreciate, and I would like to express my big thanks for your try to learn the Vietnamese as well the explore the Vietnamese culture, and all of the experience, the great experiences you share that can help me feel very happy because I have the strong cultural identity for the Vietnamese culture. And when we want to integrate the new differences, cultural background, we also find we try to assess or intercultural growth, not just output. That is, we use engage interculturally to encourage reflection on the process. We can choose the which one appropriate and which one is not for our own identity. And it's also I explore the new things in the cultural background in the new society. We also have that is quite difficult task when we just maintain our identities and we accept the new thing from the other because it's maybe different, and we should I think in my career experience we should respect the differences of diverse society, and the empathy that is and we mentioned in the presentation that you just mentioned. You just feel, you smile, and you share your idea, or you share any your feeling when we talk to the seller, and we share your expectation to get the product from Vietnam. That's it. Then all of them that is to share your awareness as well as you can protect the cultural identities, your cultural identities. That is, you because when the Vietnamese look at you, that they know you are the foreigners, and you can you protect your cultural identity through the ways in polite ways you communicate with the others, that is with the Vietnamese seller, for example. And as the Asian cultural identity have the similarities, that is respectful for the elders, and the smiling to give the positive attitudes. Yeah, and that is what I want to share. And Mr. Linh, do you have something to share with this idea?
Yes, and actually, I would like to support the ideas from Miss Trang is that, just one thing that I, come up with in my mind, that is, getting it cultural is the key. I guess so. In cultural integration, that you can truly understand or respect what you never been exposed to. And when young people get exposed to different ways of thinking, like speaking or dressing, even celebrating, they begin to realize something very important, right? And I must say that there's no one right way to be, and what's normal for me, maybe new for someone else, and that's okay. And that exposure is what helps build empathy, and it helps reduce stereotypes. And that when you interact with people from different cultures, even just through a group project or just a small conversation or via social media tool, you start to listen, not to respond, but to understand. Yeah, and that's the heart of integration, in my opinion, because integration doesn't mean to be like us. It means live together, learn from each other. Yeah, and also exposure builds, builds confidence too. For example, when students are used to cultural difference, they don't panic when they face it, but they adapt, right? And they become more flexible, more open-minded. Yeah, that's my opinion in this case. Yeah.
Okay, Carmen.
Thank
Dạ,
you.
không có chị.
Thank you. All right. So we have our next participant who will ask question. I'll invite Mr. Muhlisin, MA. Mr. Muhlisin, time is yours.
Yes, thank you for the moderator. Yeah, that's good presentation from the speakers. And now my question, this is related to my own experience when I was in Europe for my studies. My problem in the intercultural communication is when I communicate using the language of the friends that have different culture with me, I feel less confident because I'm afraid my language is to be corrected. And this makes me a little bit panic, which influence the flow of the communication. Yeah, so my question, how to overcome this feeling? Yes, that's all. Is that clear? Yeah, my question also have already typed in chat box. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Muhlisin. Please, Miss Trang and Mr. Linh, you can directly respond to the question.
Yeah. Thank you for your sharing about your good experience, and I think it is valuable experience that when you are studying in Europe, you just share about the problem with the intercultural communication when using the language. I think one of the key problems that is the fear. Yeah. Because you feel less confident, that is you fear, you afraid your language is it is correct or not. And I think you can try to practice. I mentioned about the practice in the practical context. For the international students and almost school or almost the international background, they also welcome the international student to practice their own knowledge and skill. Don't be don't worry about making mistake. If someone corrects you, you just try to see as a help. This is not the criticism, and they are supporting you to develop and not attack your own ability. And you just think they are respect to help you to improve. And most people in intercultural conversation just appreciate your effort, not just your mistakes. And you maybe to train your mindset about to say yourself, I may make mistakes, but I am still a capable communicator, because when practice speaking in self and supportive spaces can help you to improve the first one, speaking skill, and the second one, that is your knowledge, to gain the new knowledge from the other. You can start off with the small talk with the familiar topics related to your family, daily life, and can help you to build up the complex subjects from more one by one and from small to big. Okay, the talk, and can help you to just reduce the stress or pressure when communicate to the others, especially the foreigners in the different countries. And Dr. Linh, could you say something?
Yeah, actually, we have the same experiences here. But actually, it depends on the situation. And sometimes, that I have to consider whether this correction is fair or not. And if it's fair, okay, I will make it natural. Just smile and say something like, yes, thank you. I didn't know that. Oh, that's helpful. Just like that. Or, that if they correct me impolitely or in an unnecessary way, we still respond politely. Just like, yeah, interesting. I've actually seen both versions, just like that. Yeah, because, the acquisition is more important than correction in any situation, especially in daily conversation, right? I just listen and receive, acquire what you are talking about. I don't care whether or not. Sometimes, yeah, we run into some grammatical mistakes in using English. It's okay. It's normal. Don't make it more just like serious. Yeah, it's not my opinion. Yeah.
All right.
Yes, sometimes the feeling of inferiority that makes me feel, the feeling of inferiority, and the European is superior. That also haunted me. That influenced my psychology. Yes.
Yeah. I
Perhaps
guess.
any comments about that?
Yeah. I mean, the feeling of inferiority also influence this feeling that makes me less confidence. Yes. So I think psychology factor also influence this. So this is difficult for me to overcome about this psychology problem. Yes.
All right. Miss Trang, anything to comment?
That's just about the psychology problem. That is a feeling of panic comes from the brain when switch fight or flight mode. Okay, that come it with. I think you should practice the breathing techniques. That is slow, deep breath before speaking. You just think more very carefully where what you want to speak in the different language, or you just practice day by day about how to control our heartbeat and our breath. Okay. You also have the positive. Can try to have the positive self-talk. I think talk with ourselves. For example, I have the self-talk like I have done this before. I have done this before. I can do it again. Okay. I have done this before. I can do it again. Okay. That I can help you the positive. We just try to maintain our the positive psychology or with the brain switch that we find to overcome our problem instead of flight mode. That is we avoid or we recharge the communication. Another thing we can really slow down our speech to stay in control our talks. They can prepare. You can prepare the gentle expression ready when you are unsure. Also, can I say that in other way? I'm still learning. Thank you for your patience. I need thank you myself because I did try my best to overcome my psychology problem, etc. That is, you just practice breathing techniques, practice positive self-talk with yourself, and slowing down your emotion. I think every practice makes perfect. Okay, you just practice it every day. Practice to overcome the feeling of panic from our breath. Okay, that's it, my sharing. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much for your suggestion. So, be positive thinking, maybe, yes?
Yeah.
Yes. And
Thank
always
you.
confident. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Muhlisin, for the question, and for the insightful responses from the speakers. We still have several more questions, and we still have time. We have questions written in the chat box. Perhaps I will read from the bottom, from the most recent one. We have from Nguyen, mind my pronunciation. Mr. Lin, is it possible to be fully integrated without changing your traditions? Why or why not? Specific question for Mr. Lin.
Yeah, so I can see that some students here ask me for question. Okay, I wish to, if we have time, we can address every single one here, but I pick out the last one here. Is possible to be fully integrated without changing the tradition? Why or why not? Okay, Miss Trang, do you have any ideas for this? Okay, so I go for some seconds to think. All right, I believe if it's possible, being integrated means being a part of a society. For example, going to school, working, or following the rules, for example, like that. And it doesn't mean that you have to forget the culture. You still, you say, eat your traditional food, speak your home language at home, and celebrate your holidays too. In fact, when when people from different cultures share their tradition, it makes society richer and more interesting. And the key is, finding a balance between being open to new things and staying true to yourself. All right, that's my opinion.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Ling. We have another question, second from last, What advice do you have for young people who feel pressured to change in order to be accepted? That is an interesting question.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so my advice. Okay, so you have to remember that your culture is something special, and it's a part of your story and identity. All right, so don't be afraid to share it with others. Sometimes people don't understand different cultures because they don't know much about you. All right, and actually they don't know much about them too. And you can help them learn. That you can help them learn by explaining your traditions and showing them in the beauty of your background, for example, and at the same time try to understand others too. I mean that you have to put yourself into the other shoes, and in this case mutual respect is the best way to be accepted without losing who you are. Yeah.
So the key is mutual respect. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you. Right. We still have several more questions. Let's read one by one. We still have time. I want to ask Mr. Ling, how can schools help students feel proud of their culture while learning to live in a new country? I think that would be a very practical question for those of us who perhaps pursue further studies abroad.
Yeah, actually, we have mentioned the role of community in the school too in our presentation. And in my opinion, school can do rather than that. Yeah, we can, the schools can do many things to help students, like celebrating different cultures by organizing events. And for example, in Vietnam, we have International Day, and where students can share food, um, music, clothes from their countries too. And that at the present we are living in Endang province, the province in the south of Vietnam, and it is considered a multicultural province. We have 4 groups living together at the same province. Kinh Hoa Chăm Khmer, I can say that. And that as the role of the teacher, we can include stories, examples, and history from many cultures in the lesson. We can compare and contrast, but in a respectful way. All right. And scans also support students who speak other languages by offering extra help or letting them share their language, especially in the class too. Right. And in my opinion, this action can show students that their culture is important and respected. That's my point of view, right?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. We have my pronunciation. We have Trúc Thinh asking question. Would you perhaps be willing to directly ask the speakers? Can you tell me what is the biggest challenge? You want to directly ask the speakers?
All right. The
Are you here?
biggest challenge.
All right.
Young
Perhaps
people.
no? Okay, I'll just read for the participants. The biggest challenge for young people when they try to integrate but not losing their identity. That's the question.
All right.
Yeah.
Biggest challenge for young people. Do you have any idea for this, Miss Trang? You help me.
Yeah. Okay. We just mentioned in our presentation regarding to the challenges that the young may face when they try to integrate but not assimilation. Okay, I think the biggest challenge that is fear of rejection and isolation. Because many young people worry that showing their real culture, religion, language, or values maybe make them stand out too much. Because they also have the quote like "be myself, be yourself." Okay, and maybe it is the challenge to accept or adapt for the other new things. Okay, they may hide aspect of themselves and avoid being labeled as different weird, or too ethnic. And this creates the double life, one identity for public spaces, another for familiar or personal spaces. They should have the balance talks or the balance, the ways in thinking about the recession and adaptation. The other what I can mention in my part in our presentation, Dr. Mitterlin, sorry, conflicting expectation, conflict. Okay, they have faced conflicting pressure because in Vietnam, Vietnamese family, the parents will say, don't forget where you come from. While society says you need to act more like us. Okay. The balancing tradition with the modern norms can be mentally and emotionally exhausting. And the young may want to honor the family's values while navigating the school culture or the group culture, modesty and prior for the misunderstood. They just mentioned of the challenge and the ways how to overcome the challenges. I think just prepare about the cultural awareness as Mitterlin mentioned in the lecture. We should have awareness what we have and what we should learn from the other cultural backgrounds. I think what I want to share. Yeah.
And I have an observation in this case too. That is the feeling of the feeling of, how do we say, the pressure to change. Yeah. In the class you can see that many students, sometimes they try to fit in their friends at school, and if they had a part-time job, they come to the workplace, they want to change themselves to be like their friends at work, and then that sometimes they may feel they have to speak, dress, or act like anyone else. And sometimes they're afraid that everybody cannot understand the culture, and they think others will not understand or make fun of them too. Then they're afraid to show the culture. That's what I mean. And in this case, this can make them feel confused and even ashamed of their background. And it's take courage and support to straight too. Finally, be yourself is the key. Don't need to try to.
All right. Yes, thank you. Lastly, it seems that Dr. Lestariningsih has a question for both of you. Dr. Lestariningsih, would you mind asking the question yourself to the speakers as the last question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss. Thank you so much. My question, this is related to, you said that the ultimate steps, is conducting project, for students. All right, could you both share your experience conducting class projects, promoting intercultural communication skills, especially in this integration between communication?
Yes. Okay, actually at the present we are teaching the same subject in intercultural communication. So I will let my own experienced teacher to share this with you first. Do you know the poster for advertisement at class, Miss Trang? That's one of the projects that we let our students to get exposed to the culture of the foreigner cultures. And we learn about the culture of the target country, and then they design their own poster, especially some aspects related to advertisement. That's one of the things that we let our students to do.
Okay, so creating poster here. All right, perhaps Ms. Trang, you have other experiences?
Sorry, Mr. Linh and I just share about teaching ICC as our university. In our classroom setting, we also divide group of students to find out the their expectation for the countries they want to research. Okay, it can help them to have the research skill for the cultural background of the country they were expected. And in our class, that is quite a big class with 50 or 60 students maybe. And in each group, they have the different country and find out any information related to the familiar topic like festival, cuisines, films, advertisement, culture, and any cultural factor. And they create the group projects like presentation and share in the class and with the same topic with the different background and different culture in the different country they choose to expect to research. And then they share the drama process. That is, they create the script with the conflict, conflict problem, conflicting problems in the communication. That is to push them have creativity as well. They observe the problems when communicating with the other people in the natives, in the native foreign or in the foreigner. And they create the video clips and front light to take front light to feel the native speaker or the native that in the country they represent. Then they share their own experiences and their own suggestion to solve or to deal with the problems in the video. That is, they create the script, they create the drama process, and they create the conflict. Then they show the suggestion for the ways, the solution, okay, to deal with this problem. And after the group project, they also have the portfolio to give the overview on the whole their understanding through the topics that they can learn from the other group, because different groups will research or will explore the different country in the same topic, and they just share how they understanding in the same topic with the different country. Because in our class just the Vietnamese student, and we don't have there isn't any international student, but we try to create or try to find opportunities for our students to have the chance to talk or to join any forum or the exchange program to have the have time to communicate with the other, like our public lecture today. Okay, this morning they can share or think about what they have learned and what they should learn to be more. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ms. Trang, and also Mr. Lin. Very insightful.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Lestariningsih, for the question. Let me summarize Ms. Trang and Mr. Ling's session today. So we discuss how to prepare youth for intercultural engagement, the importance of integration without assimilation. We need to prepare youth for intercultural engagement in today's interconnected world. Youth as the agent of change. It's about nurturing global citizenship and social responsibility, nurturing empathy, openness, dialogue, respect for diversity. And thus, by doing so, we eliminate stereotypes and prejudices. And also, youth-led projects can be given to create more opportunities for youngsters to develop themselves. All right, let's give a big applause to our two speakers, Ms. Trang and Mr. Ling from Ansang University. All right. Finally, we are almost at the end of today's public lecture about the certificate. Okay, Mr. Endarta already posted regarding the evaluation and attendance form. all the participants, you're kindly invited to fill out the form, yeah, for the certificate later on. And for now, it's time for taking pictures together. The photographer.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
for this photo session, I would like to invite everyone to turn on your cameras so that we can do a photo session together. Let's have the first group. Smile. And then the second group. Smile. And the third one. Smile. For the last group. Smile. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you very much for the tech support behind the scene, everybody. Thank you all so much. And to all the participants, once again, thank you all for joining today. Terima kasih. Common, yeah. And we hope to see you again in our next event. Stay safe and take care. See you next time.
Cảm ơn Mr. Linh, Ms. Trang, Dr. Endang, and Wacana.
Thank you, Mr. Chi, for this opportunity.
Thank you, Miss Chang and Mr. Lee.
Thank you so much.
Everybody.
Thank you
so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so much.
Ya, cảm ơn, tạm biệt.
Cảm ơn Pak Singgi.
Ya, cảm ơn Bu Fransisca. Baru ketemu ini ya, Bu ya. Belum
Iya,
pernah
Pak.
ketemu sebelumnya ya.
Belum, Pak.
Saya pernah visit ke Duta Wacana.
Oh.